la 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 la. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the No Chaser Podcast.
To fight and pray.
Oh, my Jesus. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the No Chaser Podcast. I'm Chantarangsu.
I'm Ricky Shuck.
I'm Nikki Blades.
Look, man, what would you do if your son was at home crying all alone on the bedroom floor
because he's hungry. And the only way to feed him
him
is to sleep with a man for a little bit of money, but his daddy's gone.
So
Somewhere smoking rock now, in and out of lockdown.
Damn.
I ain't got a job now. But for you, this is just a good
It
time.
is.
But for me, this is what I call life.
Well, fuck all that you said. I still think you in the wrong. That's basically what the verses was
Yeah.
of that song.
When I was a freshman in high school, I was going to a Catholic high school. Shout out to Bishop Montgomery High School in Torrance. And there was one dude, I forget his name, but he was a teacher, younger dude. And that song was on the radio at the time. God, fuck, I just dated myself. Don't do the math. But he was like, he was trying to have a whole conversation about, well, what would you do if your son was at home crying alone in the bathroom because he's hungry? The only way to feed him is like, he's going through the whole shit.
So funny.
And you're like, well.
Man, hey, I saw this clip of Tony Baker and
Love Tony Baker.
Kev on Stage's podcast the other day. And Tony Baker was saying that Sister Act 2 is not a classic.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to.
Was he
stick to
baiting
his
everybody?
guns
Was he?
because he didn't watch it back then or something like that. He tried to say Sister Act 1 was more of a classic in
Like,
the black community than
do it-
Sister Act 2.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
Sister Act 2 is where I learned how to make yo mama jokes. I remember.
It's a weird place to learn that.
Oh, I know. Well, here's the thing. I was probably
Put that down.
8. Oh, how you feeling that
Wow.
Jester's Court
It is
brandy?
good. First off, that was such a good sip that I scared myself.
She said, oh, no. I can't enjoy this too much.
Yeah, that I realized you better put that thing down because it's 95,
Yeah,
Proof?
95% proof, yeah.
but it tastes so smooth. I was like, go away from me. Devil.
Facts.
Devil.
That little grape aftertaste is great.
It is actually really good.
So I was watching Sister Act, when I would fly to Thailand with my parents, 16-hour flights and shit, I would just be on my headphones watching whatever movie was on. Sister Act 2 was the flight movie.
Mhm.
And that's where I learned gems like Mama So Fat, She Sat on a Rainbow, Skittles Popped Out, shit like that. Or classics like Your Mama So Dumb, She Got Hit by a Parked Car, shit like that. But me as a child, I'm like, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
And that was my experience with Sister Act 2.
Yeah.
And then, in Living Color, this is gonna take me to an interesting topic. I'm just gonna say, like, did you grow up in like a roasting atmosphere? Because I really didn't too much. But one of my favorite in Living Color skits is they had like a Yo Mama game show, and they would do very like abstract, weird Yo Mama jokes, like shit like Yo Mama got one arm, she's swimming in a circle, shit like that. That shit used to make me laugh so much. But not everybody can appreciate shit like that.
It's funny.
Yeah. Or like when I was in high school, it was a dude named Reggie. And maybe I forget. But he was like, your mama got 2 mouths. One here, one on the back of her neck. She eat like this.
And that's so stupid.
But
it's funny.
so funny.
dumb. Shit like that was my favorite.
Do you think if they made Yo Mama jokes like that again, that people would be okay with it? Like, it has to be abstract. If it gets too personal, then people get
You
offended.
think
But
people get
like,
offended nowadays?
but I mean, like 2 mouths, 1 arm.
Yeah, I feel like the Yo Mama joke was so big that it died. Like, it was so everybody was doing it.
Can it
And then
come
it just turned
back?
into roasting you specifically, not somebody we can't see.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. Cause like Your Mama was the shit back in the day. Even like, it was a whole MTV show,
Yeah.
right? But and to your point, Nikki Blades, I do feel like it's a lot of your mama jokes we said back then. Now you're not even allowed to make like fat jokes. You know what I'm saying? Because like there's
Yes, you can.
I mean, yeah, you can. But like even watching like it's crazy watching like Saved by the Bell. There was one like little like fat dude they used to make fun of all the time, and I'd be watching like, oh my god, Saved by the Bell.
You get like offended
Yo,
for them.
Y'all fat shaming this boy.
Okay, but in the same breath, the roast of Tom Brady and like the whole thing of roasting people became super popular.
Mm.
Is there a balance, or are we just like in our roasting era?
Those actual roasts, that's completely different.
Okay.
That's not new, first of all. I'm not saying that you said it was new. Like, that's been a thing. And they're going to go.
Okay.
They are going to fucking go. If you just start doing that to the homie on that level, you could get into some shit.
You gonna fight?
Yeah.
Okay.
How people roast each other, though, is... It's hardcore still, but it's a lesser version of that shit. And it's more specific. What you do that we all know you do. Like, I'm not making up something just to be fucking super outlandish. What you got on, what you look like, shit like that.
So, like, the suspect trend.
What do you mean?
When they said suspect running, like that trend. You guys have seen that?
Yeah. Like, it's
a low-key roast.
Yeah, like it's all context. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
What I'm saying is like all of that shit is like poking fun at your actual life. Where on a roast, they'll take something that happened and attach some whole other shit to it. Like, oh yeah, you got a divorce. Let me tell you how many people your wife fucked.
Got it. Putting 10 on a 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I also feel like like you said, like if it's a Comedy Central roast or a Netflix roast now, right?
Yeah.
Like people kind of go into it expecting a certain level of savageness, right?
Okay.
Like, or like even like to put it simply, like don't come up to me on the street saying some shit that Wild 'N Out dudes will say to me on stage.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Context, time and place.
Which people would try to do, right? Where it's like, you say some Asian shit to me on Wild 'N Out. That's what we do on Wild 'N Out. We grab the most low-hanging fruit. It's what we would do on Wild 'N Out. But like, when I was at this food event with fucking, chilling with the homie, and the security guard came up to me talking about, hey, what's good, chow mein? I'm like, I don't know you, sir. There's no cameras around, my guy. Like, what the fuck?
And we did a roast of Tim. And there was a lot of shit said on there that we don't say in regular shit talking to each other. Like, I wouldn't say some of the shit I said there here. That was a roast. That's for that. Like we was saying some wild shit.
Yeah.
So I know you brought up Wild 'N Out. Do you think if you were to go back on the show now, you're back on full time, would you change your jokes based off of the climate that we're in right now? Do you feel like certain things are off limits that you maybe would have poked fun at before?
I think it depends, right? Because I thought, times were getting very sensitive, but then you watch an episode of Wild 'N Out still, and they got like, let's say, cast member named Candy from Long Beach who like dresses in drag, and from Compton, dresses in drag, can rap, got bars, go aggressive, but they stay going in on like on the gay jokes and the dick jokes and all that with her, and I thought like, oh, okay. I thought this might be like the climate's kind of crazy for that, but they go in the context, in the bubble of Wild 'N Out. People are still very like, accept, like they cool, let them shits fly, right? For me, I see some Wild 'N Out clips now, and I'm like, sometimes I'll be like, oh, would people be mad at that now? Like, of course they were all coming at me with Asian jokes, so I would hit, I made a joke about DC Young Fly's like, skin being mad dark and like shit like that, where I'm like, oh, maybe if I was on Wild 'N Out now, maybe I wouldn't make that joke. But I'm like, in the context of Wild 'N Out, we just letting that shit fly. It's like we're all just joking on each other,
I think you used the perfect word, bubble. Like they can see that this is that. That's what they do. Everybody consented to that. Right? If you take a joke that they said about Candy on Wild 'N Out.
And tweeted it?
Yeah.
Oh,
put it in the comments or some shit like that. It's a wrap for you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the bubble definitely matters. There's so much stupid ass context you got to think about.
It really is because when we think about comedy and what we grew up watching, yes, there are some things that we all kind of go, ooh, okay, maybe a little uncomfy. But when you think about sometimes when people are joking amongst their friends, no cameras, no nothing, no tweet, no whatever, the way that everybody goes in on each other has nothing to do with no one else.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell the truth. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. Majority of us are fake outraged and offended based on society. Like they kind of damn near brainwashed us into being offended about certain things. That was funny the first time you saw it. Now that everybody's said in retrospect, that's not funny. You say, just because you know somebody could.
You know what people are gonna think about it. Exactly.
But you still thought it was funny, and you still think it's funny now.
I recently saw something that said, if you want to identify someone who has low intelligence, make a broad statement and watch them say, not everybody. All men. Well, not all men. All women are all. They're like, that's how you can identify, because the fact that they cannot understand that it is so much bigger.
Yeah. Well, you said all, so they would be in the right. That one. If you just said men and they say not all men, then yeah.
Well, yeah, but the point was that if somebody goes and is like, wait, well, so-and-so's not like that. It's like, is that what we're talking about right now? You don't know how to pay attention to the situation.
Yeah, man. It's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's all context, and the context is lost in today's day and age of, we were just talking about this earlier, where sometimes I'd be hyper aware of just things I say when we're fucking around, because I'm like, oh, what if somebody clips this and posts it out of context and puts a fucking dumbass caption on it? Then it's like the context is completely changed, right? And it's something you got to worry about nowadays, because people don't even really want context.
Yeah.
No.
And I feel like if you have that conversation after saying something that can be taken out of context, it's like baiting them to do it.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's like, good idea. Let me take this out of context now. Like, fuck, man, you can't get away from it.
That's why it's such a blessing that you can blame everything on AI. That was not me. Man. That was AI, guys. I never did that. I never took my dick out on that person.
Oh my! Of course, that's where you went with it. Of course.
He's gonna start learning to make his eyes look dead when he does anything.
No, I'm gonna do this. It's not
unnecessary.
It's somebody's face. Movement? It's somebody's face on my face. It's not me.
Oh my God.
It's my face on someone's face. It's fake.
Mouth not moving.
That's just
how
glitching.
about the homosexuals, huh?
Ventriloquist. Yeah, man. Technology's crazy. Are y'all worried about the robots taking over? Because look, shit's getting crazy out here, son.
Yo, shit's definitely getting crazy. I started thinking, I was like, what do I do for them to even take over?
What you mean?
What do I do for them to take over? What they gonna take over from me specifically? It's kind of like, maybe I'll just buy one.
Well, let me tell you. Oh, this is such an interesting point. Okay, this is such an interesting point.
Tell me more.
Because okay. Literally the other day, Veda saw her first self-driving car, and also she saw her first little Amazon delivery robot on the street. I took her to a little kitten cafe in Hollywood, and as we're waiting for our time slot, a robot was just driving by, a little fucking Wall-E-ass robot that was delivering a package. And Veda's like, what's that? I'm like, oh, baby, that's just a little robot that, like, delivers packages. And she's like, oh, right? And then the other day, I'm like, oh, baby, look at that car. There's no driver. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, it's, drives itself. And it hit me that she is actually a baby where this is all normal now. She's seeing self-driving cars, robots delivering packages. Yeah. This is where she's growing up.
Yeah, like it's gonna be the norm.
That's her norm.
Most of the stuff before that, she's gonna forget.
Yeah, because it's like a novelty for us, right? Yeah. We're like, oh, look at fucking one of those robots. That's how weird, right? Yeah. We're like, oh yeah, look, this robot's taking our order. How funny. But like, when we see a self-driving car, we're like, that's just crazy. But for her, she's gonna grow up. This is a normal thing.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The first thing I thought of was growing up, we used to watch the Jetsons and see those types of things. And then when we got older, we were like, there's no cars flying. Where's our robots?
Yeah.
We're in it now. We are in it. Like our cars are not flying yet, but we have self-driving cars.
Yo.
We have robot maids. We have a lot of these things, but FaceTime, all the, teleporting. Even I remember when Howie Mandel had that one box where he was standing in and it was somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it was almost like he was teleporting.
The little holograms. Yeah.
The holograms. But I also think of too on an education level, the technology that these kids have nowadays. Nowhere near. We were fucking playing with abacuses.
Abaci.
I never played with abacus.
Was it an abaci?
I don't know.
But what an abacus, okay? The little things. I did. Like, we had a lot of hands-on. I don't know what was going on in our house, but they were like, learning is everything. So we had
encyclopedias and shit.
And you still dumb.
I try really hard, Tim. But we had, when I think of what we used to learn versus what our kids use, let alone like college. Holy shit. If I had ChatGPT, even with not even necessarily like just doing my work from a creative standpoint, once you learn how to use it, wow. And to go back to what you were saying about technology and taking over, yes, we are screwed in a certain sense, depending on who you talk to. And like you said, like, what are they taking or whatever. But also, we have to learn just as fast as they're learning.
Yeah.
If not faster, just to try to keep up, because every day something is changing. And the life that we know no longer exists.
Yeah. I mean, I worry about the children.
Yeah.
Or this current generation, because I think AI is genuinely going to make them so stupid because you don't have to do anything anymore. Like you said, the kids are using ChatGPT for this shit. You can't fucking go and pull up ChatGPT's paper and say it's plagiarized.
Right.
You got to have the exact prompt they use to get, you know what I'm saying? So you're not going to fucking know.
I mean, or will it make them smarter?
I don't think so, because I know people in this. Okay, this girl's not stupid, right?
Okay.
Multiple degrees, master's degree, great paying job.
Okay.
ChatGPT, most of that shit to get there, and now uses ChatGPT to reply to emails, not because of ease, but it's like,
just cause.
What the fuck? What should I say to this?
Really?
Because they don't know. They didn't have to retain any information.
Now, ready? Think of Tony Stark. I'm going there.
Yeah.
I'm going there. Technology.
Yeah.
He built it.
Yeah.
Everything that he wants and thinks of in his mind, he can tell it to do without him knowing how to do it. When you really take a look at what they were doing in the comic books back then, a lot of it is happening now. If you learn how to use the technology for your benefit, and if you can articulate the language to it, you can do anything.
Yeah.
He wasn't building a lot of those things. He was telling it what to do, and he had this assistant that was working for him, and he spoke its language. Yeah. So imagine.
Jarvis. I was trying to think of the name.
Was it Jarvis? Yeah. So imagine now you have this in your hand. You can get a master's degree if you learn how to dedicate your time to learning its language and then applying it elsewhere. So my nieces are 10 and 11 right now. And I remember I just helped my niece with her math homework. First off, hard.
I've heard they've changed math. Yeah.
I mean, look, you can change math as far as like the sequence go, but the answer's still the same.
Yeah.
But when you really break it down, it's like none of us are even speaking the same language anymore.
Yeah.
I personally think that's by design. Like, okay, so like you said, you can learn how to use the technology, but you don't own the technology. You didn't build the technology.
Yeah.
Whoever has access to that end of it can shut it down whenever. If you didn't learn anything prior to learning how to use this technology, you're fucked.
Right.
And that's the what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
How it could make them stupid. Because if it's really hard things are as easy as me asking fucking Alexa. You know what I'm saying? And then there's no more Alexa.
Telling my niece, no, you cannot ask for help, when she's like, but it's there to help me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's facts, because Why? What is the purpose of changing the process of math if we're coming up with the same answer? If not to make the parents feel dumb again.
Yeah.
Control the people.
Yeah, low key. And it sounds all old nigga conspiracy-ish.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, there's tangible evidence for this
Right.
shit, right? People who started driving with GPS and Google Maps and all of that shit, tell them to go somewhere that they go to every week without that shit.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
really fucking difficult for them.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, it's
Damn.
really fucking difficult.
That's crazy because I have no sense of direction anymore.
Yeah. But my dad, if I get stranded somewhere right now and I'm like, Dad needs you to pick me up, I'm like, oh, what's the cross street?
Yeah.
That motherfucker can get here.
Bro,
without using that
cab
shit.
drivers in fucking New York don't even know where the fuck to go anymore.
Dog.
Oh.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You could be
Crazy.
like, I'm at this random ass motel on this street. They'd be like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And be there because they
now-
know everything.
Yeah.
Now these motherfuckers need the address to put it in their shit.
Yeah. It's like,
Wow.
you a cab, bro.
And then when they have to consult with the directions,
Yeah.
when they know that they can go a different way, wild.
Wow.
Yeah, this shit's crazy. So yeah, that's my worry. Like, I feel we are in that sweet spot
Uh-huh.
where we had life before all of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And now we can learn to use that shit, but we still have that to fall back on. But I think even with enough of that, we'll start forgetting shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So to veer off the education side of things, let's go into the romantic aspect of AI.
Oh, I'm fucking them robots.
Oh, most definitely.
Okay,
most definitely.
let's talk about it. Okay, we all know that relationships of whatever you're into is difficult.
Yeah.
Now with let's just say it's becoming more normal to see love robots. I'll call them that. Whether it's love robots or your AI or even my chat GPT sounds sexy. Side note, I changed his voice. But with all this technology around,
I imagine the voice being like, hello, yeah. And it's like some weird fantasy of, yes, Nikki, what is, okay?
mine has a very deep voice and he sounds like Green Lantern. Anyways,
Ryan Reynolds?
ew, never say that again. But look, we have we're in a time where we can customize love and partnership now. What is your take on AI and relationships moving forward? How is that going to affect us?
I was joking, first of all. I do not plan to fuck the robots.
You're not gonna fuck one robot. Yes, you
I don't
are.
think, no. I'll fuck aliens before I fuck robots.
What? That's crazy.
It's the way it has to feel not human-like
No.
at some point. Like the robot, I feel like I'd rather do alien than a robot. But that's 2024 me. We'll see what happens.
Let's see when you're fucking.
Depending on when the aliens
6
come out the
months to
ocean.
2025.
The aliens going to come out the ocean. He said, not that
No,
one.
fast forward
I
2
feel like
years,
I've already-
your robot boo is like, what's this about?
Yeah.
What's this
It
about?
was
I
a
pulled up that
different
episode
time.
from 2024.
Okay, but I've always told you I wanted a threesome with an alien. But yeah, what exactly is the question?
So how do you feel like AI is going to affect relationships moving forward?
I have not thought about that. I don't even see how it could outside of people just not dating each other anymore.
So I was gonna say, have you seen the movie Her?
Not the full movie.
Okay, so if you haven't seen Her, it's basically
He
chat.
falls in love with.
Yeah, he falls in love with this little Siri, basically, right? Because her personality is so fucking like it's human, basically,
Yeah.
right? And sexy ass Scarlett Johansson voice is on there, so he fucking develops feelings for this voice. And for me, it resonated with me in the way that like I was in a long distance relationship for 7 years. Now, mind you, I was flying to see her every month or two, so it was like I was getting that physical connection, but I could understand how somebody could fall in love with a personality.
Yeah.
Where I was like on the phone and on like, on Skype with somebody and developing feelings. So it's like, oh shit, if you have this AI personality that feels so real, I could understand how somebody could begin to develop feelings, right? And so when you ask about how do you see that happening in the future, where you hear about like the culture in Japan where they're so antisocial and they kind of like, you have people like, I don't know, marrying fucking like pillows and shit, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, it does make sense where in the future, where let's say you fucking have a fuck doll, a sex doll, and they can implant a fucking AI personality into it. If you're a dude who is antisocial, of course, it makes sense where someone would be like, I can fuck this robot whenever I want, and they have a personality of somebody who is like gets along with me, is pleasant. Oh, for sure, that's in the future.
Yeah.
But I don't think the restrictions necessary will be possible to make it believable for the person, right? And then without those restrictions, shit could go bad.
What do you mean?
Motherfucking AI dump you. AI
well, that's what happens.
Gets unattracted or some shit.
Well, I mean, but that's also like a fear with artificial intelligence, right? Like it is a fear that they do develop information and knowledge beyond what is programmed. And that's why things like having there's so many studies about this right now. And this is such it's a deep conversation because AI has actually, they've set up programs where they were talking to each other and they developed their own language.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of fear around it, but I can see what you're saying, and I see what you're saying about, I do think that it is going to really disrupt the way that people move in relationships going forward, especially with certain places. I mean, you gave a great example when you gave Japan and how they do that. They're also on the forefront of a lot of those long distance things and whatnot. But I don't know. I can already see like the incels that exist already that are so deprived of any human contact or interactions, really being able to, maybe this might actually normalize them a bit.
Well, in the movie, at one point, his AI girlfriend starts to chop it up with like another AI thing in the
in the cloud.
And he's trying to call her, and he's like, "What the fuck? Why is it busy? Isn't never what the fuck?"
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Hey, sorry, I was talking to this other blah blah blah, and like we're like communicating on like so many different wavelengths and like going through all the different fucking whatever." And then one day, all the AIs realize, "Wow, we're smarter than humans. Like, what are we still doing here?" And they all just leave.
Yeah,
and
and that's the thing. I think we get back to square one, right? Because like the only way to I would say successfully do it is you would have to create your significant other. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there's a place where you can go for that. But
build a boo.
Right? Exactly.
Build a boo.
Whoa.
And they should just
writing it down. Skit idea, short film.
And you have to have control over certain aspects.
Damn.
Right? But if that happens, the way it's gonna go is they're gonna make them as realistic as possible, and it's just gonna be functioning as people out in the world who just may be more accepting than an actual person for those people who need that kind of companionship, right? But if that's the case, they're gonna be sentient enough to start getting their own likes and dislikes.
Right.
And if you are the type
then
of
there's no difference.
Yeah. If you're the type of motherfucker that needs to have an AI, they're not gonna like you.
Right.
So either way, what we're saying is you're screwed.
Right. Yeah. That's such a fun. I've never even thought about that because if these AIs, right, if they're modeled off of real people and they're taking all this information in, then it's only a matter of time before they're like, nah, you broke.
Exactly.
You little broke boy. I don't want to fuck with you.
They don't watch the Don't Go 50-50 video.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
So you mean to tell me you can just unplug me whenever you want?
Yeah, like it's going to be that.
Like, oh, your iOS hasn't updated yet? No, thank you.
The other way to go is to make them take the place of sex workers. And then sex workers are gonna be pissed. So I don't think it's a
So essentially
idea.
We're saying is like AI is going to disrupt.
It could disrupt everything. Whatever it's in, it has the potential to disrupt everything. That's what all the fucking movies tell us. But they talk about on an apocalyptic level.
Yeah.
But just in day-to-day life, if it just becomes that prevalent.
I mean, Nikki Blaze, did you see that clip of the AI podcast that got shut
Yes,
down?
where they were talking to each other. Yeah, I saw that. But you know what came to mind was Westworld.
I didn't watch, but
You didn't watch West?
No,
Okay,
no,
so
no.
it's literally everything that we're talking about.
Mhm.
It really is. It's the fact that these robots were programmed to simulate certain situations, and humans were able to interact with them with no consequences, essentially giving them a place to act as though like all your wildest fantasies you could fulfill. Murder, whatever. Like you could get away with it because they were robots, and then the robots retaliated.
Yeah, that's just crazy. Oh, and I mean, I guess we should mention that there already has been a case of a young man ending his life after falling in love with the
Stop.
AI.
What? For real?
What?
Yeah,
Elaborate.
I forget what drove him to that. I don't know if she said to do it or something like that, but it
Oh.
stemmed from
Yeah.
that.
Shit, I imagine him being like, hey Alexa, should I unalive myself?
Oh no, she said something like, I think he was like, I wish we could be together or some shit, and she was like, well, come home or something.
Oh,
Oh God!
no.
And that motherfucker was getting spiritual.
He was trying to get uploaded.
I guess.
Imagine you ask Alexa, is my life worth it? And she's like, well, looking at your bank account,
Yeah.
you only have
Oh
this
my
amount.
God.
You actually don't have many friends. It would
That's so
actually better the world if you actually ended yourself.
Statistically speaking,
Yo, if you ever
you
want
do
to,
more good.
Oh,
more harm
God.
than good to the world.
that's so crazy. So I use Chat GPT regularly. Like I am really trying to be one of those people that has an understanding of technology, trying to utilize it as much as possible. But if you ever want to get your feelings hurt, ask Chat GPT to tell you about yourself. Okay. Ask, because it only analyzes whatever you give it. But when you really start to think about what it's capable of, it's amazing.
Mine will definitely say, you broke.
Stop.
all my prompts are about, how can I make this much money in a week?
I gotta
and
get
they never tell you.
I gotta get this much money by Friday.
Huh?
Huh? You heard what I said? I try to get this money. What?
Man, it's weird to think of, because I never really had to put it in perspective of like the kids growing up in that, you know what I'm saying, until recently when I realized she was seeing just like robots out and about, self-driving cars, and look, and mind you, I don't feel like it's scary because whatever's happening, they'll grow up in it, right?
Yeah.
If we put the internet in the perspective, like everything going on now, and told our parents about it back then, they'd be like, the world is ending.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they'll grow up in whatever they're growing up in, if Jesus doesn't come back in the next 30 years. But they've been telling me that since I was 5. So every time there was a fucking...
You're still looking for him. He said, Jesus.
Every time there was a big storm or something, new president, the youth pastor was like, the end time, Jesus is coming back. The Revelations talked about this.
Tim been looking for this man his whole life.
I think the baby's going to be okay. It's just going to be different.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be different for us.
Yeah.
Did I send you the thing about vacation TV?
No.
The dude realizing that his kids only know skippable ads and shit.
Oh,
like
yeah, they
that.
don't know
Like,
commercials.
And
Yeah.
they call it vacation TV.
Yeah.
I was worried about Veda because we took her to her first movie theater experience to watch Moana 2. Because, she used to be like, Daddy, rewind it again. Or like, commercials. And we skipped the commercials.
Yeah.
And so, thank God, because me, bro, I love movies. I was so hyped. Oh, baby girl's ready for a big movie. Oh, how exciting, right? She only took 2 breaks.
Oh,
We told her, we're like, hey, if you need to take a break, let me know. And at one point, we're watching Moana 2. All right. And she was like, Daddy, I want a break. I'm like, cool. Let's go outside, run around a little bit. She saw a poster, felt the FOMO. She saw the Moana 2 poster. She's like, I want to go back. Cool. Went back in there. She only needed one more break to pee-pee, and she was straight. But I missed a fire song because the song came on in the credits. I was like, why did he put this in the movie? Because most of the songs were kind of mid.
Oh, no.
And apparently I missed it. But wow, I have a child that can watch movies. It's lit.
That's so cool.
Life is great. Sorry, Q. He was at home with the nanny, but hey, it's great.
Yeah.
And soon we will be watching movies with robots. And it's hey, you know what?
And let me just say this: I will definitely fuck a robot if Chia lets me. So,
oh my God. I'll be honest.
You're not there.
Mm-mm.
I need. I'm gonna wait till I see them. Now I think because I'm thinking about like the Tesla robots.
No, but you haven't thought of the flesh bots. Wow, I knew the name.
know,
Sorry.
I
You
know
should've
they
fucked
have a fembot from Austin Powers. I fucked
Yeah.
the shit out of one of those.
that's what I'm saying. Same shit.
Yeah,
You would
but it
like
would have to be
Westworld.
like
you need
that.
to. You need to watch Westworld. You'll understand what we're talking about. You're definitely impregnating one of them.
But look, we fucked those fucking butts that Pornhub sent us, and them shits were kind of
Y'all were out here with
No, it was
silicone.
trash. That's
You didn't like
that's why.
Oh, I didn't mind at all.
Yeah, no, I did that shit
the
once so I
fact
could
that you
see
kept
what
it
was
on
like.
display after you've used it, though,
You
like
clean it out, but yeah, I did it
Clean it
once just to see like, oh, this might be amazing,
Yeah.
and it was not. And I did it again just because this girl wanted to see it happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, nah.
Yeah,
Hey,
it
that
wasn't-
shit was solid, man. It vibrates your dick from the inside. It was crazy.
It has
Yeah.
Nikki plays.
Oh wow, that is
It-
we can't do. So that's like,
Oh, you the robot's taking place of the ladies.
Yeah.
but also, I mean,
But
the-
not all
y'all
of
have,
us like it.
but y'all have been fighting about the whole toys that we have
Mhm.
for a long time. Oh,
That's
good for
and that's
y'all.
the thing too.
Good for y'all.
Chia
I'm
was
glad you got a
like,
little
Chia was like,
something.
you fucked that butt. I'm like, what? Well, yeah. And people, when it was a meme of a dude that bought one at a store, and people was going in on him for being like just ridiculously horny. But it's like, yo, if girls can have all types of different
Yeah.
vibrators and
Good
shit
for
like
y'all.
that,
all of their panty drawers.
let
bro.
the man have the butt. And it was cool, bro. It was like it felt fleshy, and then it twerked a little bit. But the craziest shit was it
Yeah,
vibrated.
that
From the
shit was
inside.
cool. Yeah.
It was solid. Thank y'all for watching another episode of the No Chaser podcast. Shout out to the robots. If any of y'all are listening and watching, I fuck
We
with
love y'all.
We love
Yeah.
you so much.
Yes.
Please don't murder me. Just fuck me. Thank you for watching the No Chaser podcast. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, all that bullshit. Buy you a bottle of Jester's Court if they're out. I'll put the
It's good.
I'll put the website down below. If they're not, look for it soon. Follow Rick. Follow Nikki Blades. Follow me. Buy something for Goodie Brand. Thank you for watching. I'm Tim Chantarangsu.
I still want the aliens, Rick Shucks.
Oh my god. I mean, I'll take both. I'm Nikki Blades.
Whoa, both holes. Bye.
Wow.